Hi, I'm Georgia Munnik. I'm a visual artist based in Cape Town, South Africa. As people, are we free? No, not at all. As long as, I think we live within an ideological framework which is very not freeing. But I think that it's how you negotiate yourself within that framework that can be helpful and can support feelings of freedom in brief moments, which I don't think that as people we're free. I do think that balance is a good thing. In my life, I am recently sober as well, and I feel like it is very important to have a balance of work and relaxation, but also self-care. So yeah, I feel like it is important, and it's become increasingly important in my life in the pursuit of joy. So I would say that I am pursuing joy as opposed to freedom. I think it's unattainable. So tarot cards or tarot reading helps me in terms of trying to figure out where I am at currently. It helps me career-wise. I read other people's tarot when I feel like it, and it's been a strangely interesting and giving part of my artistic practice and my daily practice. I'm not scared of death, weirdly. I don't think I am, at least, because I'm also aware that my body continues living after I consciously die. So that's how I feel about life and death. Death is not the end. My body is in constant collaboration with the microbes within it and in its direct immediate environment all the time. And when I die, my body gets to work on its own decomposition. So yeah, I don't know. I welcome death in some ways. Not I don't want to die tomorrow. I really would prefer not to. But the concept of death is interesting to me at this point. Yeah, I don't think it means the end. I base a lot of my work on being in love. So I think it's painful. This tattoo actually comes from a heartbreak. I identify being in love with being heartbroken a lot of the time. It's a source of my work, as in I think it's often a source of anguish. I don't know, I think being in love is an addiction in some ways. So yeah, I've definitely been in love, and I would say that I'm also trying to process how I want to be in love going forward. Because yeah, that's part of my journey personally at the moment, is that I want to be in love consciously and with intention, as opposed to falling desperately and blindly in love. But yeah, I have been in love, and I think that is definitely witchcraft in the best way possible. So for example, this t-shirt range that we've just developed with ABC collection is called Sex Magic, and this is an illustration of a work that I made about recently being in love, and that our intimate connection is a form of sex magic, because it's all encompassing, and it feels like you sometimes can manifest things happening and being drawn to you through that kind of level of extreme intimacy and love. So I think it's potent, and I think it can be dangerous. So obviously nature is a strong element in my work, more in the sense that it's something that's untranslatable to people. It's something that I work from in my practice as an untranslatable language. Yeah, which you have to give something of yourself in order to comprehend. I use it in my practice all the time. So the forms that I sculpt and the images that I make are always in conversation with nature. And using those images or those compositions and then recreating them or representing them in sculptural image-making form is a language in and of itself. I get my work tattooed all over my body as a way of hyping myself. A lot of the time is to say, because I'm an independent artist, sometimes you sit with no sales, or you get a rejection, which is often from an institution that you really wanted to be a part of. You don't get into a show that you wanted, and I reflect on my tattoos as remnants of my work that I find my work really beautiful, and I think about what that process was and what that work was about, and then I kind of I feel driven or I feel affirmed again. So I was living in Norway in 2016. I was the featured festival artist for a film festival in Harstad, which is the top of Norway. I was in an artist collective that were producing queer nightclubs. We were also distributing literature and other education on different topics like HIV awareness and stigmatization, and also cultural appropriation and all this stuff that is still super important. We were finding ways to integrate it into people's daily lives. I was doing really well, but I also didn't have a material practice, and I hadn't lived in South Africa for a while. So fast forward to 5 years later, which is like crazy to think of, but I feel so much more comfortable in my skin. I know exactly who I am and what I'm doing. I don't ever doubt the decisions that I make in like all of the fields of my practice. Like, so from like apparel, sculpture, it's also like a version of sculpture, image making, interacting with people, writing. I've just recently published an article in Arthrob about artist John Geiger and the Kanyum Dingy, about their collab. So yeah, I've like come into my power. So my worldview has shifted in that I trust myself. Yeah, and let's say 5 years ago, there was a lot of institutional and monetary support around me, but I was definitely still uncertain about the decisions I was making at times. The only thing that I think I was ever really sure of was my art practice, and now it seeps into like all other areas of my life, and that's been the thing that guides me, is making art.